All right, hello, welcome everybody. It's Saturday night, so you know what that means. That means that it's time for another Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer community race, and we've got an awesome four-way to put on for everybody in the chat. Hi, everybody. How's it going out there? My name is The Schwantz27. I'll be your commentator for tonight. Franklin is doing both the tracking and restreaming, so big shout outs and props to him for doing that as well, putting on the show for all of us. We have four runners tonight: Hashmalum, Nobody War, Jex Ferox, and Zelfer85, and it looks like they all like the color purple tonight based on the screens that we have here. And this should be a lower requirement seed, so we'll see how fast these runners can actually go and beat this one. So here's what we've got. We start with Terra and Celeste. And in order to unlock Final Kefka, as you see on the screen, you need to get 3 characters, so we already have 2. So we need 1 additional character, and 6 pieces of Magicite, and defeating 3 dragons, of which the dragons are scaled, and our scaling tonight is actually based on time. So every 1.5 minutes, the bosses and enemies will gain 1 level. So that is good in order to rush bosses at the beginning. However, the MP and HP scaling are also based on time. However, the experience and gold points factor scaling that you actually earn is based on the number of characters plus espers plus dragons you have defeated times 3. So it might be wise to take some early fights because the experience in gold is not based on your time. However, the levels of the bosses are. As some are already pointing out in the chat, there is a Kefka's Tower skip for this particular seed, and in order to get to the statue skip, you have to complete 2 objectives, of which there are 2 checks. You have to do the Leet River check and the Magitech Minecart Ride check for Celeste. So we'll see which one of our runners decide to go on these longer and less desirable checks, right? The Leet River takes a while, and if you can't beat the boss, you're kind of stuck on it. And Magitech 3 is a group of 3 fixed encounters plus 2 bosses for only 1 reward. So normally people tend to shy away from those. However, with it being an objective in the seed for the Kefka's Tower skip, we may see it. Also, in objectives, we will learn all of the sword techs after we have done the Dome of Dream sequence. And we are going to get 3 high-tier items right off the bat, as we have got the 3, the 2, the 1, and it's time to go, go, go. Our runners should be starting our race now. We already know we're getting Celeste and Terra, and Terra is actually going to get Dance, so we're going to see Boogie Down Terra, and we are going to see Rage and Celeste. So we get a Pearl Lance right away, I saw. What are some of the other high-tier items we get? It looks like a Genji Glove and a Gem Box. So the Pearl Lance is nice. The Gem Box, not so much, especially early, because to cast 2 pieces of magic, you're going to need a lot of magic points. And we start at level 3, so we don't have much magic to start. And the Genji Glove would be great once we get to better items to check. So Nobody War is already into the Returner's hideout, which is where the Leet River check could be. We see Liridian as a rage on Zelfer's screen. That is Landslide, so that is one of the best rages in the game. It's basically a faster flare. Jex Ferox is heading into the shed in World of Balance Narsh. Hashmalum heading right to the Imperial base in order to do the sealed gate cave check. So all 4 of our runners are, well, I was going to say they're all in different spots, but Zelfer looks like he's following Hashmalum into the check. So just as some more interesting notes on the flags for tonight's race, the chests are shuffled of vanilla chests, so you won't see any crazy things in there. There is potential for elemental shields, as we did see the Flame Shield and the Aegis Shield come out of on Zelfer's screen there. So elemental shields are in play. Additional things that are also in play are fixed ice is something that you can get in the chest. Normally in the vanilla game it's from the Phoenix Cave, and the equipables for this particular set of options are original plus 64% random, so there's a pretty good chance that people might be able to equip those. besides having shuffled chests, we also have shuffled shops. So the shops are the same as they are in vanilla, but just shuffled between the different places in the world. Nobody War is going to pick up some treasure here in South Figaro. Moving on, so he's not going to do the Leap River right away. It'll be interesting to see if he does it at some point. Here we get to see some rages, and we see that Love Sonata has Landslide on it, which is great. As I mentioned earlier with the Liridian Rage, it is basically a better version of Flare because it does about the same amount of damage. However, it's much faster to cast, so we'll probably be seeing the Love Sonata dance come out of Terra for the early game, maybe even into the late game, although runners tend not to use things that make you berserk like Rage and Dance later on in the game. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do there. Other interesting notes is that we can actually see Ultimate in the Seed, the most powerful spell in the game. And the natural magic is both on Terra and Celeste. However, the spells are randomized, so no level 99 Ultima on Terra for this seed. So we don't know what spells that they are going to learn each. As we see, Katana Soul is found by Jex Ferox. I think that's a monster in a box in Narsh. So now we know where our offering is. I also just saw some other good rages there towards the top. I don't know if Retainer was one of them. I might have saw it briefly flash by. Anyway, it's the Magicite Shoat at the end of this cave to the Sealed Gate. So Hashmalum and Zelf are going to pick up one Magicite apiece. Shoat is very good for the final boss to use on Tier 1 because one of the parts of Tier 1 can be petrified, and Shoat will petrify everything on the screen. Doom Dragon is also a great rage because it will freeze all of your enemies, and nothing is immune to freezes. We see Ice 2 and Speed +1 to show Esper, so that's okay right off the bat. We got some pretty decent rages here on the cards. So that will hopefully carry us through the beginning of the seed with the Landslide on the dance as well. Jexarox heading into Albrook, which is in pretty close proximity after you're done with the cave to the Sealed Gate. We have Nobody War taking some grind fights, and the bottom of South Figaro, Zelfer is heading over to the shed in World of Balance Narsh. And Hashbalum is checking out how Terra is going to be boogieing down this particular seed. So some other interesting things to note in the flag set here is that we can find elemental shields and super balls in shops, but remember, shops are shuffled. So I don't know if they actually sell elemental shields in vanilla shops in the vanilla game. Somebody in the chat will have to let me know. The 8 dragons are scaled that we do have to fight. We have to fight 3 of them. However, the ability scaling is scaled element times 3.5, which means that we're going to be seeing some higher tier spells earlier in the seed. And remember, our scaling this seed is based on time times 1.5. So I've seen a couple of people take a couple of fights so far, but mostly it's been shopping. So it will be interesting to see if our runners decide to cut their shopping short and decide to go fight bosses, because they'll be at lower levels the earlier there are in the seed. I'm being told by Hefe in the chat that there are no shields in shops in the vanilla game, so thank you very much. No elemental shields in the vanilla game in shops. So even though that flag is off, it doesn't matter in this particular set of options, but we will see some super balls, potentially, in shops. So Zelfer into the Returner's hideout, and as I mentioned, one of the Kefka Tower skip to the statue requirements is to do the Leap River check, so we'll see if Zelfer decides to hop on a raft here. The other objective for the Kefka's Tower skip is to do the minecart ride in Magitech 3, so we'll see how many of those runners decide to do both of them in order to get the skip. They're a bit on the longer side for checks, so yeah. What is the chest random percent? These are great chests. They are shuffled plus 0% random. So I'm assuming that means they're just shuffled, right? So they're shuffled from vanilla. Monster in a boxes are also shuffled. We did see Katana Soul in Narsh as well. So shuffled chests means that we're going to see some great items, especially if they're the ones from the World of Ruin chests later on in the game in easily accessible areas. I've already seen Elemental Shield, Aegis Shield. I have not seen the Fixed Ice chest yet. I've seen a few elixirs sprinkled in here and there, though, so we'll see what our runners like to get. There's a striker, which is a pretty good weapon on Jexferox's screen in this cave to the sealed gate here. Hashmalum looks like he's going to World of Balance South Figaro. Nobody War setting up his party here. So he has not gone to the sealed gate cave yet because he does not have the Esper that the rest of our runners have. Well, not all of the rest, but 4 of the rest of them have. So yeah, while we're going through early game, just a reminder, on Thursday is going to be another community race. However, it will be a battle royale race as part of the first round. So in the first round, signups unfortunately are now over, so forget that Google form. But you can take a look at the rules there, and this is the first week of the battle royale. We got 38 entrants, so in order to break it down into pods of it's either pods of 5 people. Yes, it's 7 pods of 5 people each. So for the first round, we have to unfortunately lose the lowest 3 times. That's how battle royales work, right? The last one to finish. You don't have to be fastest, but you just can't be the slowest. Just like if you accidentally get out of your safari car and there's a cheetah on the way. Big 20k and a Minerva in that set of 4 chests there, as we had pointed out earlier. So yeah, we're going to be running the round 1 battle royale for next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time here on the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Twitch channel. So be sure to get that. And we've got another piece of magic down in the South Figaro basement. That is Ramu. That's a pickup from Zelfer there. I didn't actually see Nobody War get it. I'm assuming he did because he was down in the South Figaro basement. We'll have to see if he checks his menu here. Because I forgot that we had Celeste to start. Because I think that's Ayla as a sprite swap, right? Is that Ayla from Chrono Trigger? Am I seeing that wrong? So one of the great things about Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide is we have different custom palettes, so different colors, and we also have different sprites from other games. So that's pretty cool that we do see Ayla from Chrono Trigger, which is my favorite RPG game of all time. I like that game a lot, but I play this randomizer because I like this randomizer better than Jets of Time. However, I know Zelfer is also a Jets of Time player, so that'll be interesting. Meanwhile, we do see, I don't know what sprite that was that Nobody Wore, but he's checking the Welk spot, and it is Leader, so this is our first boss battle of the game, if you can even call it a boss. His Leader is basically a pushover. He just gets 1 shot right there. And we will see what the reward is, and it is going to be Locke. So Locke opens up 3 different checks. He opens up the World of Ruin Narsh Weapon Shop, which you could only get an Esper or an item from. Also the Phoenix Cave, of which we need to fight 3 dragons, so maybe we could see a dragon dip early on in the seed, and the Tunnel Armor spot. So we also know that from the flag set that 8 is going to be the Cursed Shield battles, so that's right on the cusp of what our runners would normally do, depending upon when it is in the seed. But Nobody War getting locked so early means we're probably going to see him try to break that Cursed Shield, because remember, we can learn Ultima from the Cursed Shield today. Ultima is not off, or the no Ultima flag is off. Try saying that 5 times fast. It's like a double negative, right? So we can learn Ultimate in this seed, and the easiest way to do it is to get a Paladin Shield, and now we kind of know the path how to do it, right? Beat Leader at Welk, get your Curse Shield with 8 battles, and go uncurse it. Very pricey, 64,000 I think that was for the item in the World of Ruin to Zen. I know Zelfer checked it in the World of Balance. I didn't quite see what it was or how much it was. But if he didn't buy it in the World of Balance, it was probably pretty expensive, so we'll see how it is. Maybe it's just an item, and maybe that's why he didn't buy it there. I didn't actually read the text. The text will tell you if it's an item or an Esper or not, and it's the Maduin Esper or a Magus Rod is the choice on Nobody War's screen. He'll choose the piece of Magicite because we need 6 of them in order to beat the seed. A Magus Rod is a nice stat stick to have if you have a magic user. And we've got 2 of the better magic users. Both of them have natural magic, but this early in the seed with no magic points, we can't really use the magic. So just to recap, it is a Celeste and Terra start. Kefka's Tower skip is done by doing the Leet River check. Ice 2 Pearl on Madeline as well, and it does look like he had the Ramu spell, so he did get it from the basement of South Figaro. Zelfer looks like he is going to check out some tunes. Doom on the Ramu Esper, so not really a great Esper for spells, but Strength +2 is a very good stat bonus for anybody that wants to be a physical offensive attack person. And in this seed so far, we don't have really the items to do it yet, but we could possibly see some higher tier items for beating one of the three, or any of the three dragons that we have to fight. Nobody War is going to head into Tunnel Armor and finds Ultras number 2. So Ultras 2 will not be in the Opera House, which is where Zelfer is. Ultras number 2 is a pretty easy fight, weak to fire and weak to getting electrocuted as well. If you take a long time to beat him, however, he can become difficult because every time he gets sucked down into the basement and comes back up, he comes in with a new pool of HP, and we have Cyan with Morph. So that's character number 4 for Nobody War already. We see the different strategies here. Nobody War definitely heading right to boss checks very early, because like I said, the scaling is time times 1.5, which means every 1.5 minutes or every 90 seconds, our bosses and our enemies will gain 1 level. So the earlier you fight them in the seed, the easier they're going to be. It looks like Nobody War has parked himself right outside of the Leet River. Right outside of Returner's hideout. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, and we probably knows what this means, right? We're probably going to head on a trip down the raft here on Nobody War's screen. Meanwhile, up in the rafters of the Opera House, Zelfer finds a pretty decent fight here. This is not going to be something that's going to be too harmful. A Thunder Rod over in Thamasa for Jex Ferox. That's a good item to pick up. Rods, if you break them during battle, will do a maximum damage, unblockable version of a tier 2 elemental cast. So Thunder Rod will do Bolt 2, maximum amount of damage, unblockable as well. We got some Dragoon Boots as a relic in the shop. We do see fixed dice in his inventory, so he must have picked up the chest with the fixed dice somewhere. I actually didn't see it. So if somebody in the chat, did see it, they can let me know where it is, and if it's something that we might see all of our runners get here. As Nobody War is on the raft on the Leet River, gets a pretty easy fight with Lobos and a Valmameth. Although we did see last week, there was a Valmameth that gave our runners the business. We did get a Dragon Horn as well somewhere, so Jexy's got himself a full Pogo situation going on, and since Celeste can equip the fixed dice, that is beautiful to start out with. So that's an endgame build right there on the Celeste for Jex Ferox. We'll see if any other runner heads over into Thamasa to get those Dragoon Boots. Meanwhile, we still have some more fighting here, as Hashmalum is going to try and take down Katana Salt as the monster in a box. It'll be interesting to see if he can make it through. There is fixed dice out there, so an offering would help. I didn't see any other weapons that would be good with offering, mainly just the Atma weapon. And the aforementioned fixed dice here, as we see Hashmalum trying to take on Katana Salt. Andrew wants to pop in and commentate. All right, awesome. Well, that'll give me at least a little bit of a rest. So, Andrew, if you'd like to come join, hop in the restreaming chat, and we'll make room for you. Hop in if you want, my dude. And yeah, the more the merrier. It's always fun on Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. You never know what the heck is happening here. So I am joined by Andrew, who I think is got his mic muted, so I'll wait for him to unmute his mic here. He might just be setting up.
Sorry.
You gotta do your voice exercises. You gotta get ready.
I gotta do PG stream. I turned on Discord, and there's a thing that's like trying to sell me an ad the second I walk in come in the booth. And anyway, this is a boring story. We're almost at the end of Leet River. Let's get to it. What did I miss? Catch me up. What's the 5-second synopsis of everything that we missed?
All right, so basically we've got a Terra and Celeste start, and in order to do the Kefka's Tower skip, you have to do the two least favorable checks of those two runners, or those two characters in the game. Elite River and Magitech 3. So that's why nobody war is on Elite River. The scaling is time times 1.5, so we're seeing a lot of people doing either free checks early or checks with bosses early because the scaling is not that bad. Unfortunately, Hashmalon takes a reset. We got number 128 at the end of the Elite River. We have Atma Weapon at the end of the Opera House, which Zelford just takes down, so we'll see what the reward is there. Jexarox has found himself a Pogo fixed dice user, so he's already got an endgame build, and that's pretty much where we are.
Great. So the goal then, for everybody, it seems like, is just get into Kefka's Tower super fast, because it's going to be a lot quicker this time, as opposed to get more stuff or build your character build up and go all crazy.
Fortunately, only in Oralance from the Opera House. We do know that there's Dragonhorn and Dragoon Boots are for sale at the Masa, so you could make use out of it, but not what you want to see after doing Opera House, which is one of the longer checks.
Oh, by the way, have we all talked about the Pixel remaster yet?
No, go for it. I have not actually played any of the Pixel remaster. I'm more of a randomizer guy.
Yeah, I mean, I am as well. I haven't had a chance to pick up the Pixel remaster, but if you do, it's on Steam. Only something 99. Anyway, it looks pretty cool. There's a lot of the things that we love about the Final Fantasy VI game. They've really updated some cool things. Like, so in Magitech 3, you know, when you're going through the train section, it just looks like a bunch of pixels, and you can kind of figure out what's going on. It's like, oh, I'm on a minecart.
Are you talking smack about the amazing Mode 7 graphics, Andrew?
Oh, look, 1993 or 96, 94. I should know this. When this came out, was an amazing year for me as a young person. But we've managed to exponentially grow in our technological capabilities. So not only do we get a little bit more there, but we also get the Opera House scene, which looks amazing in comparison. And the soundtrack as well has been updated and a little more orchestrated. So,
oh, very nice.
It's a really cool update if you guys are interested in playing that. But I mean, the randomizer is where I've been at lately. Yeah, Doom Dragon on Elite River does not.
Yeah, double Doom Dragons are never fun.
It's only good when you have like control on your character, and then you can just get them to fall in one themselves, and then you're done.
Yes. Sin Pyro saying that he enjoys the Pixel remaster. I love just playing the randomizer versus the vanilla game, just because it's faster, you know, and I like to beat the game faster. So Nobody War did pick up the Siren Esper at the end of the Elite River, so at least that check rewarded a piece of magic, which is good. Zelfer's in Zozo, which is another one of Terra's checks here. Jexarox is now starting the river ride. Hashmalum is going back for seconds at Katana Sol after picking up Locke from the Welk spot, which is leader. And we've got Fun Baba at the first Magitech spot.
Bobby! Oh, he looks so good. Look at him. He's been really working out. His buys are really good. He's comfortable being shirtless at this point, I gotta say. Fun Bobby, you've been Jim Bobby lately.
Yeah,
man.
He definitely bought himself, you know, a couple of free weights for at home during the pandemic. Fun Baba's weak to poison, so if we had the bio spell, that's what we would see. But Pearl also works, and it's probably our most powerful magic attack yet. Zelfer finds Ultros guarding the top of Zozo here. That's Ultros 3. So this is the one where if we had Sketch, which by the way, Locke actually has Sketch. So unfortunately, Zelfer didn't get Locke before this fight, but you could actually use the Sketch ability and end this fight right away.
I gotta go up with Hefe on this one. Fun Bobby did skip leg year. He skipped leg decade. You know, his forearms too. You know, toss a little bit extra on those reverse curls. You know, go from 15s to 20s, and I think you should be good, Fun Bobby. You know, go. Yeah. I bet you Fun Bobby could do 30s on his reverse curls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's dumpster diving in the bottom of Magitech, you know, I don't know what he's looking down there. Marble Shoes is the reward there. It's probably the relic that looks the coolest on paper, but then you can't really find a spot to actually use it during the game. And we've got Ifrit, I think that was. Yes, Ifrit, straight +2. Speaking of swole characters, so another straight +2 Esper for Zelfer, and unfortunately Hashbalum is having a problem with Katana Soul tonight.
So it goes. Yeah, we all tend to get locked in on some of these characters every once in a while. They can be rough, but you know. Well, we'll see what happens if Hash ends up going back for another fight, or if Hash ends up moving. Oh, no. Is that spicy chicken? Oh,
Well,
guys, get your ranch sauce out. Get your buffalo sauce out. You know what? Hope he's made of ghost chilies today. Ooh.
Yeah, so if you are subscribed to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide on Twitch, you actually have access to the spicy chicken emote. I'm not at the moment because I changed addresses and my credit card from Twitch is like, no, thank you. So unfortunately, I don't have my spicy chicken emote anymore, but if you do, you can certainly spam them now. All of the subscription money goes towards charity. It doesn't go towards any of us here in the booth. We don't get paid to do this, as Cyan gets blasted to the face. That's never fun. And double Doom Dragons again, this time over on Zelfer's screen. And we got Jex Rocks with more Doom Dragons. So we got 4 dragons, 1 spicy chicken, and 1 Katana Soul all on the screen at the same time. This might be the toughest group of enemies we've seen all at once in a 4-player race.
Gosh, this looks brutal. Those Doom Dragons without control, ooh, makes me want to run. By the way, you guys can unlock your emotes with channel points if you guys been sticking around to spam your spicy chicken. However, Buffalo Wild Wings has been consumed. They just got the bill. And guess what? There's a dead chicken on it. All for a snow muffler. Not bad. Can't complain. You know, gonna stay warm, protected against the cold elements and the physical damage. Just like, you know, if you were out in someplace cold.
Yeah, I forgot about the channel point unlock. So yes, spend your channel points. You get channel points for watching the stream. And with 2 dead checks in the Magitech factory, Nobody War is going through the 3rd minecart ride, not only to get the skip, but to get some sort of value out of this check, right? Like, it's been 2 items in a row, which is quite awful for Magitech.
Yeah, while the accessories are nice, you know, you don't go there. It's not like you're going on a New York shopping spree. You kind of want something out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Something that can contribute to
Is
your
that
mortgage.
Intangier for Jex Rocks? Is he trying to fight the Intangier?
All right, so how do you beat this? Yeah.
Where's Doom Dragon? What is going on here? Did he vanish himself? I'm confused.
It's very possible that there was some vanishing going on.
I mean, I've seen ninjas cast vanish on themselves before, but I've never seen a Doom Dragon do it. Maybe I just haven't. Anytime I see a Doom Dragon, I just run automatically. So I never actually have stuck around to fight one all that long. Reach Frogs on Nobody War screen. That's going to be a lot of cash money. In the vanilla speedrun, those are the enemies that you grind in order to get your cash. Curse Shield is at 8 battles, so this early in the seed, I think you're going to try and do that, especially because, drumroll please, you can learn Ultima from the Paladin Shield at a ×1 rate in this particular set of flags. So we will probably be seeing Ultima this seed at some point.
Nice. Ultima's a rare thing in this Worlds Collide thing. It's kind of overpowered.
Yeah, it makes seeds unfun to both play and to watch. But we're trying to go as fast as possible with these low requirements and these amazing Mode 7 graphics.
Yeah, Sin, to get to you in the chat, Nobody War did finish Leet River very early on.
Yep, got the Siren Esper, which is good in the 2nd tier of Kefka, because Siren will mute everything on the screen, and hilariously, magic, who can only cast magic, could be nullified by being muted. So that's some fun stuff. Number 128 down for Jex Rocks. Hashbalum is going to be the first of our runners to take on a dragon, and it is, oh no, the Dirt Dragon. Not the one you want to see.
See, this is okay. All right,
Oof.
So, all right, listen, guys. Here's what all right, listen. This is why this is why I early on in every seed, if I see Gaia gear, I pick one up. I will always do that. There are a couple strategies that I do that are absolutely pointless and abhorrent, but when
Unconventional.
they pay off, they're great. There's Gaia Gear and Debilitator. I go right
But
for them.
you got to put a positive spin on it. They're unconventional, okay?
Oh,
Meanwhile, Rosopas and the Piranhas, my favorite punk band on Nobody War screen, is the first of 2 bosses on the minecart ride in Magic Tech 3. So this one shouldn't be difficult. We'll see what the second boss is. And there we already see the ultimate cast from Selfer.
ooh. This is going to be a lot of blue globes.
Yep.
Everybody's going to be thinking they're in a snow globe this entire seed.
Especially because when doing the Leap River, there are forced encounters, right? And so those forced encounters will crack your Paladin shield, and they'll also give you magic points. So I'm expecting to see some ultimates here this seed as Nobody War crashes into the Magitech Soldier. That's one of my favorite moments in the game, believe it or not. It just looks so cool.
Just going to say this also, Paladin Shield has a place to store your credit card. So if you pick one up, you don't need a back wallet. You don't need extra pockets. Paladin Shield does everything you need.
Ice 3 on that Siren Esper. Yeah, you just tap it on the tap it on the little machine, and you're good to go.
And it's got fraud protection too. We saw that Minerva from Dirt Durgan.
Ooh, that's the second Minerva this seed. There is one in the Sealed Gate Cave, and there is a flying train. Everybody look out.
Please tell me someone's got the suplex.
No, there is no Blitz yet. Unfortunately, womp womp. No meme points for Nobody War. He did get the Bismarck Magicite, so Magitech 3 is either a character or an Esper. Meanwhile, the first 2 checks are only Esper item, and in this seed, unfortunately, they're both only items. And Hashbalum has fought not only number 128, but now is fighting his older brother Inferno. So interesting sibling rivalry there.
So it seems like we got a couple Magitech plays right now. Everyone's kind of following suit after Nobody War.
Yep, who just unlocked his Kefka's Tower skip, by the way, by doing both Leap River and Magitech 3. Zelfer and Jex Verox are basically like almost in sync here. And since Nobody War has Cyan, which is from the Tunnel Armor check, he gets to go to the Doma Castle and fight a floating flame blob. Power Lance is not going to do any damage.
All right, everybody in chat and you too. I want to know what your favorite character is and what your favorite ability is. Because here's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Shadow as my favorite character. You got Doggy Defense, always the best. Favorite ability, Magitech.
Oh, yes. Well, now with the 1.10 release of Worlds Collide, Magitech is actually an option now, which is pretty awesome. Hashbalum did take down the Tritox spot, got Bahamut, who's got Berserk, Ice 3, and Speed +2. That's a sick Esper there. I don't know how many people are going to pick that one up because it is kind of out of the way, although you do have to fight 3 dragons. But usually you couple this in with Umaro's check, and we don't have Umaro. I like double slots Gao myself personally. Gambling Gao, as I like to call him. I'm totally kidding.
General Leo and Shock, always a classic.
Carrying tools.
Look.
Terra the Handy Woman.
Edgar and Debilitator is all I need for any
Yep.
any seed.
The Debilitator strat. So Fun Baba going down for Jex Veroxen is getting the dance off right now on Zelfer's screen. Meanwhile, Nobody War is dissolving the Rust Rid with some WD-40 to go to Mount Zozo to possibly fight his second dragon. Oh no, it would be his first dragon. Hashbalum is the only one with a dragon. And it looks like Hashbalum is going to do his second dragon here at the Opera House. So we might see double dragons fights, and it's not the Super Nintendo game.
Good old Mount Zozo. By the way, if you guys are playing Ouija and the thing starts writing out Zozo, burn the board and move. Just some good advice in general for you guys. A lot of these characters in this game are named after mythological creatures or lore or some form of religious stuff. Zozo, kind of a demon you don't want to mess with.
Zozo a Led Zeppelin thing, or is it Z-O-S-O?
I don't know. know.
I'm pretty sure on Led Zeppelin 4, like there is like that. It's Zo instead of Zo. But Javinator rating with a party of 6. Thank you. Sit down. Your table is ready over here at the front of the
Yeah,
World's
Javinator,
Collide
we got
Diner.
breadsticks, dude. We got breadsticks. We got some dipping sauces. Do you like garlic butter? Plenty for you here.
Speaking of garlic, Gold Dragon is down on Hashville on the screen. That didn't make any sense, but that's fine. We're gonna go.
No.
Nobody wore fighting Skull Dragon, who is weak to Pearl, and that's a spell that he has on most of his characters. So this should be a pretty quick, easy fight. I didn't see what the reward was there for beating the Opera House Dragon. It flashed up way too fast, and we have double spicy chickens on screen now. So
Guys,
you got your emotes. Time to spam them in the chat. There it is.
get them in there. Oh, look at all these espers being pulled out on Skulldurgan right now. We've seen Chaos Wing, we've seen Ramu. No, they're not doing anything, but they've been pulled out. But the thing
multi-summon is off, unfortunately, with this seed. But go ahead.
But the thing with Skulldurgan is just like, you know, not very strong. A lot of HP, not very strong. So you just gotta kind of endure the fight, and if you can outlast it, Skulldurgan ends up being one of the easier fights. But you gotta be able to get all that HP off. And for that is a Genji glove. Not bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, we already have a Genji glove from the very beginning, so we also got 3 high-tier items at the beginning of the seed. One of which was a Genji glove. The other was a gem box. The other was a Pearl Lance. So not great items, but
I just want to point out that Nobody War did stop to look in the flowers, which, if you guys are fans of Walking Dead, is usually not a sign of anything good. However, maybe the sign of nothing good is Umaro. You know?
Oh, we were talking about the Yeti before, so now Nobody War has an incentive to go up to World of Ruin Tapa Narsh to fight the dragon and do those two. Hashmalum is our first runner down into the Phoenix Cave. There's a dragon in here. I'm assuming that he'll fight it for his 3rd and final dragon, even though he has split his party into 2 and 1 respectively. Question in the chat, Sin Pyro, how does the tower skip work? So basically you complete the 2 objectives in this particular seed. It is doing the Leet River check and doing the Magitech Minecart ride. And you get warped straight to where the statue switches are. So you still have to defeat the boss gauntlet of the 2 bosses in the middle track and 1 boss on the side track. So you still have to do the statues and the guardian spot. But it's not a straight skip to Kefka. So you need to unlock Final Kefka in order to beat the game, right? So that is the 3 characters, 6 espers, and 3 dragons. So you can actually unlock the skip before you unlock Final Kefka, which I think some of our runners have already actually done. Right? I think Nobody War has already done that. Zelfer and Jexferox are on their way to doing that now.
And to get to JCM in the chat here, Coral! Oh, for the Walking Dead fans. I see you guys.
Oh, I was going to say that's a reference I don't know. So.
Oh, Walking Dead. The character pronounces Carl as Coral. So yeah. So when you're in Ebot's Rock, I typically call
there you go.
You know, you got to get 20-something Carls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrix, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Also, hi. How you doing?
Yes. So if you're new around here, this is Final Fantasy VI Open World Randomizer. There are lots of resources at our website, ff6wc.com. You can also join the Discord there. We don't bite hard. Meanwhile, Rosopus is down for Jexferox, and we've got the White Dragon over on Hashmal on the screen. White Dragon can be a bit annoying with all of the casts and all of the magic all in the first turn. Oof, and level question mark Pearl, unluckily enough, hitting his party. That spell only will hurt you if your level is divisible by the amount of gold that you have. So if you've got gold ending in a 1 digit, guess what? You're getting hit by that spell. That has happened to me, and it's never fun.
The big trick with White Dragon is you can use the spell that makes him go which is mute. Or, you know, you just punch him in the face enough and hope you don't die, which is what Hash ended up doing, and was able to survive with 150 HP unlocked.
There we go.
White Durgan has turned into Dust. A lot of MP, learning a lot of things. Did see an Aura Lance and a Genji Shield, which is great for sledding, you know.
It has been cold here in New York and very snowy recently.
Oh, so, you're in New York?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Are you upstate or city?
No, I'm technically I'm not that far upstate, but yeah, I'm north of New York City, so yes, I'm considered upstate by anybody. By most standards.
I used to go to school and live up in Syracuse, which I think I'm good.
Yeah, that's western New York, but yes, it is cold there.
If you guys need if you guys need a reference in the chat of what upstate New York is during winter, think about Narsh World of Ruin without a snow muffler, and that's kind of what it is.
Thematic. I like it. Very much so. So Hash Malum has Go-Go. Will be interesting to see if we do the Zone Eater check, because then we could play the guessing game of how many times we get thrown off the bridge. Nobody War completing his second dragon. Jex Ferox heading into World of Ruin Mobliz to check this kid down in the basement to see what the reward is. It's Realm! So that'll be character number 3 for Jex Ferox if he decides to take on this fight. But it is Fun Baba that will blow one of his 2 characters away. So this might be a rough fight if he decides to go for it. Looks like he is going to go for it.
Yeah,
he needs a 3rd character.
Gotta get Realm too. Realm is like super cool. You know, she's got all the art supplies. You know, go like finger painting after, after a couple battles, kill a bunch of monsters, steal their money, and then go finger painting. You know. Also, imagine if Realm was around today. Her Instagram would be so lit, dude.
Yeah. Jex has ultimate. He'll be fine. Yeah, Realm would be one of those Instagram stars for sure.
Oh yeah. All right, you guys tell us in the chat, what do you think Realm's like Instagram following would be? Would she be like a 10K, 20K? I don't think she'd be like a million artist, but I'm guessing she'd probably be around like 30K on her Insta followers. She might do better on TikTok because it's a little more of the younger crowd. But
I bet you her NFTs would make a lot of money.
Dude, do you think Realm would be into NFTs? This is the big question.
How many different forms of ultras can you draw and sell on the open market, right?
Do you think Baron would be alive if Clyde was only taking NFTs? That's all they were hijacking.
Oh no! But then Realm wouldn't be here. That's like a grandpa paradox, right?
Look, well, you never know. Like, you know, the world could have brought those 2 together, Shadow and Shadow's wife. I don't remember her name.
I don't either.
I don't think they. I think they probably wrote her as Shadow's wife. I don't know if they gave her a name or not. We just sort of have the mysterious backstory, which isn't explained, which is probably a good thing.
Sorry, spoiler alert for those playing the Pixel Remaster.
Oh, that's right. Spoiler alert. Actually, no, I'm not gonna spoiler alert this one. Go to the ends with Shadow. There's 5 dreams you can watch, and make sure to, tune in and watch them. It's always a good time.
I'm finally getting his River Ride and its Guardian at the Fun Baba spot. This is not a fun fight with one person to do. Guardian doesn't really hurt all that much unless he does Launcher and bring you down to critical HP, but he is a tank, both literally and metaphorically speaking. He has a lot of HP. Zelfer up at the leader spot, which is at Welk, and Nobody War is jumping between apartment buildings, which is something I did not do when I lived in New York City for a few years.
Well, I gotta say, Guardian is down. Jumping was the right call. We got Realm now.
We did see that Realm had sword tech, and we know that Cyan is at the tunnel armor spot, so it's possible for Realm to get super duper powerful, because you do get all 8 sword techs for doing Cyan's Dream. So that's a possible path for Jex Ferox if he wants to go that way. Zelfer gets Locke as his 3rd character. Oh no, he had Locke the whole time, didn't he? No, he just got him because he defeated Leader at Welk. Nobody War is going to pick up the Magicite Ifrit from Zozo, and we're still on the rapids. By the way, Karaxor, I think that's how to say your name. Thank you for subscribing to Worlds Collide here on Twitch. All of the subscription money goes towards charity. I don't know what charity it currently is. We rotate it around every once in a while. Somebody's picked a charity. It's not me. I'm not high-ranking enough to know. But anyway.
Oh, we got a couple of these emotes here. I'm gonna drop one of these in chat here. One is Strago going, get good here. Look at that.
I like that one.
We got a lot of. Have we seen the cave to the sealed gate yet? Has everyone already gone here?
So yeah, that was the first Esper Shoat, I think that was, and that's where we found found a Minerva, we found some elemental shields, and it looks like Jexferox is in Esper Mountain. You could peek this, and it's a merchant sprite, so this is not going to be a character. It's either an Esper or an item, and the boss is Rexol.
I gotta say, Esper Mountain, one of my favorite checks. It's very easy, it's quick. As long as the boss isn't too much of a pain, it's, you know, I like it. Whoa, some Ultima coming out. Gonna take out those front guys. Gonna watch some animation for a little while.
Yeah, so in Worlds Collide, we've messed around with Rexol's AI. Normally, he possesses one of your characters, and you have to get them down to critical HP levels in order to summon Rexol. But we said, forget all that. That's way too slow. So there's a flag that does the no zinger option, and that's what we have on in this particular flag set. So this is not your vanilla fight. You also can't do it the vanilla speedrun way of just summoning Odin or Raiden or Exo to insta-win. But Rexol is down because we have Ultima. Normally it's not a fun fight because he has very high magic defense and physical attacks will work, but not all that well. Odin is the reward from that particular fight, so we've got yet more magic for Jexferox, and it looks like he's just going to be looking to fight some dragons now. Hashmalum has all 3 of the dragons done. Nobody War has 2 of the 3, and he is the last of our runners to head over to the sealed gate. Zelfer is at the tunnel armor spot where he is going to get Cyan, or nope, he already beat that fight. He's got Cyan. And we'll see what our runners want to do, because the requirements are low, but the Kefka fight is not scaled. So they're going to have to get powerful enough offenses in order to fight Kefka. Ultima will certainly make that easier, but, you know, it's not free.
I gotta say, saw a little Bahamut being used, another blue circle. And Jex is going for Katana Soul with Ultimas and some Dragon Horns, and Katana Soul has no shot, then they're gonna take his money. Here's what I'm thinking. All right, Realm can equip the Cat Hood, right? Obviously,
yes.
So she can get a lot of money, presumably, because she knows she's a young entrepreneur, that if you if you gotta save up for college, you're gonna need stuff that's gonna get you a lot of money. Hence the Cat Hood.
Unless you're an Instagram influencer. Meanwhile, Zulfer runs into the Doomgaze check, I think, and this is Vargas and the Pooh Bears, or the Apple Toilets, the iPoos. Nobody War is the first into Kefka's Tower at 44 minutes and 20 seconds.
And to also talk about this going into Kefka's Tower. Okay, so Realm's dad can't pay for college because obviously he's kind of a deadbeat. He doesn't really show up. He just wears the same clothes over and over. And apparently he's not really nice to people, and his dog barks at everybody. But we're fighting Data Luma, who's a pretty easy fight here. We've got, Blonde Cyan is throwing me as well. Data Luma is a pretty easy fight. Somehow doesn't have lower back problems with that posture, but, you know, nothing to worry about too hard. Terra, Cyan, they do the job. Nobody War, not even worried.
Yeah, if you let that fight get longer, though, it gets messy.
We've got...
He'll start throwing things at you, and just like You throwing things at enemies hurt, enemies throwing things at you also hurts. Phoenix was the reward for accidentally running into Doomgaze, and it's got magic power +1 on it, so I don't think a lot of runners are going to get that Esper, because again, we don't have the Search the Skies option for Setzer, so you have to accidentally run into the Doomgaze spot. And unfortunately, he forgot to put his Moogle Charm on. Nobody wore his did, I'm talking about. So we're in Zelfer going to Mount Zozo. I'm assuming he's going to fight one of his dragons here. Any skip requirements for the flags? So, yes, so the skip is if you do Leet River and Magitech 3, you get the statue skip. So that's why we have seen some of our runners do those longer checks that we normally don't see. As Hashmalum is our second runner into Kefka's Tower at 46 minutes and 45 seconds. As Franklin points out, Nobody War only has 2 dragons done. You can fight a dragon inside of Kefka's Tower, however, he already has passed them because he did the statue skip, right? So he'd have to go backwards through the tower in order to fight his 3rd dragon. So this will be interesting to see. He also doesn't have anything to fight Ifrit and Shiva. So here's some cool tech that you can do. You can actually run away during the transition between Ifrit and Shiva, and it'll count as you winning the fight. The problem is you have to make Shiva appear, and Shiva only appears after 5 physical attacks. So he's going to have to let Yeti try and fight, and then try and run away afterwards. This is going to be interesting for Nobody War to try and pull this off.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I don't know if it's impossible with a Berserker though, because you'll try to like physically attack Ifrit, and that resets your ATB bar, right? So then you're gonna have to start over again, and you can't run away during the transition. So this might be impossible, but I'm not sure. I mean, I've said dumber things before. Meanwhile, Hashmalum is finding Toilet Atma. I guess he apparently ran out of toilet paper and decided to go to the Inferno spot there. Hashmalum did not go for skip. I don't think he did MTech 3, so he did not get the skip. He did do the Leet River, though, which is surprising, to do one and not the other. Zelfer does beat his first dragon, the Skull Dragon. Jexrox beating another one of his dragons as well. And Zelfer's got his Yeeti.
Ultima was from the Paladin Shield jab. And we're watching this fight on Nobody War's side. This is super intense right now, as it's like...
Oh, he's got Atma Weapon. So Atma Weapon is defense ignoring physical damage. So Ifrit normally can only really be damaged by ice spells and will absorb fire, but Atma Weapon will take care of business there. Zelfa, our 3rd runner into Kefka's Tower, he has the skip. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not Kefka's Tower, that's Phoenix Cave. I saw arranging parties and I thought Kefka's Tower, but no, he's going to go into Phoenix Cave to get one of his 3 other 2 dragons. Nobody War finally taking down Ifrit at the Goddess statue spot, and we'll see where he goes next.
Alright, well we got Jexy is making a trip over to the Opera House, presumably, warm up the vocals, have a little dark chocolate beforehand, which is usually good. Opera singers have that. Get the me, 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 me's and the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Never mind. Fell down the hole.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to sing when you're falling off of the rafters, huh? Or falling down the chute. It's the gold dragon here. This one shouldn't be a problem. It's probably the weakest of all of the dragons. Meanwhile, Nobody War runs into Welk, which is not a difficult boss. It just is a time waste, especially when you only have one character, and that one character gets slowed. That is never fun. Comment in the chat about the Pixel Remaster opera scene. I haven't seen it. I'll take Andrew's word for it that it's cool.
Oh, dude.
I'll have to watch a video on it.
yeah, it's cool. It's no longer MIDI singing, but they have like an actual singer in there, and it's really, really lovely.
Very nice. One of my favorite opera renditions was from I think one of the speed racing marathons. They had like a live like rendition of the opera scene during the Final Fantasy VI speedrun.
Oh,
With the
they
people
did
dancing
like
and stuff like that. I don't remember which event it was, but I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought I saw that at an AGDQ.
That might have been it. I don't know if it was RPG Limit Break or Games Done Quick or any of those other ones. I know that we actually have we're actually going to be in a marathon. It's called the No Reset Le Petit Royce or Le Petit Roi. I'm not French. My French is bad. So that's in mid-March. So we'll look for more information on that. Meanwhile, French Vanilla Goddess here on Nobody War's screen at the Spicy Chicken statue. This is not a fun fight you want to do 1v1. Especially if Goddess casts Lullaby, which means you're on a timer to finish this fight.
Yeah, Goddess is a very tough fight in general. Even if you're all prepped and all that stuff, you know, Goddess has the ability to do some stuff that just causes damage. Love Token makes you have to rethink how to do the fight. You know.
Ooh, Pearl's not going to work. That's going to heal Goddess.
Yeah.
So Goddess absorbs Pearl and Lightning and is weak to fire, but has extremely high magical defense. And as Andrew said, if you hit Goddess with a physical attack, it will usually counter with Love Token, which means that you have to absorb the physical damage that you would have normally inflicted on Goddess. Plus has the Blowfish coming out. Thankfully he healed up before that, otherwise that would have been a GG. White Dragon down for Zelfer. Jexferox is doing the Square Enix tried and true tested climbing up the stairs. What is it with those, like this game with the Fanatics Tower and stairs, in 7 it was the Shinra Corporation and stairs. Are there any other stairs in Squaresoft games that I'm missing? There has to be more.
I gotta say, what was it? Like roughly every game has some version of their, you know, their challenge tower or whatever, like or Coliseum. Wasn't it in the 13 series or 13-2? There was like a 100 level tower that you had to beat. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just misremembering different games. Maybe it was at Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. Hi, I'm providing facts.
Well, Kingdom Hearts is a Square Enix game, is it not?
Yeah.
Anyway, Go pick up from Zelfer here. I wonder how many. He's done 2 of 3 dragons, so I wonder how many more checks he'll do, or if he's just going to go to Opera House here to get his 3rd and final dragon. Speaking of which, Jexferox is now in Go mode with 4 characters, 6 Espers and 3 dragons. Ashmalum is fighting Goddess with 2 characters instead of 1, and Nobody War gets the bad news that he's got to go back into Kefka's tower. Unfortunately, this means that he doesn't get the Kefka's tower skip. Maybe this was his plan all along. Do the skip, clear out all the bosses, then do the dragon in the tower. The problem is you still need to walk through and step on all the switches and do the first part of the tower. So I don't know if this is actually faster than doing, you know, going to walk up Narsh to do the Narsh dragon, or even, God forbid, what Jex is doing, walking up and down the Fanatics Tower, right? So it'll be something interesting to ask him in the post-race interview, especially because he has to beat this Inferno boss now anyway.
Yeah, maybe there was some strategy to try and get ahead of the curve in case those end bosses were going to be too rough and stack the deck around. But my guess is Nobody War probably just forgot the 3rd dragon. That's kind of more what it seems like. But with 3 people in the party, and Celis and Locke and Terra, like 3 of your generally strongest characters in this game anyway, you're good. A lot of ice 3s, doing 7,000 damage, like, we're good.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like you said, maybe Nobody War is like, I only have 5 characters. If one of the bosses in the boss gauntlet is impossible for me to beat with 1 or 2 characters, then I want to know that now versus doing the skip and then having to walk all the way back. You know, like that seems awful.
I mean,
that's even worse. If you can't beat a boss, then you go, okay, now I have to think about my party composition as I go back into the the tower. Speaking of into the tower, Jex Varrock's 55-51 or so, 55-50 is into the tower. Zelfer is going to be in go mode now that he defeated the Gold Dragon at the Opera House. So this is still anybody's race, peeps, with Ice Dragon being Nobody War's third and final dragon that he's going to take out here.
I gotta say that, I mean, we gotta give it to these runners, because I would be intimidated to go into Kefka's tower with only 4 characters generally, but everybody's just, you know, making it happen, and that's a testament to how skilled everybody is here, playing this seed. So, you know, you guys are getting a good show with some people who know this game inside as out. You know, as much as we all kind of know about this game, it's not as intimidating as it sort of seems. It's pretty easy to get a grasp onto, and then all the details. Even us who've played this for a while still continue to learn new things every day. I think Jonesy, even in the Discord, was talking about how he learns new stuff all the time, and Jones is one of the best racers in this, you know, in this zone. So if any of you guys are interested in playing this, you know, we're spouting out a lot of information and a lot of facts, but this is, you know, at its core and at its base, still a pretty straightforward treasure hunt game that's a lot of fun to play. And if that's anything of interest to you, feel free to hit up the Discord. We're all super helpful and nice, and you know, there's plenty of ways to get you guys started. So, yeah.
I don't know why Zelfer went to the auction house. That's, again, something we'll have to ask him. Although with Zelfer Lock, he gets Esper on the first try, of course. So maybe that's just him rubbing it in our faces that he can get an Esper out of the auction house whenever he wants. That's a little inside joke there. But to your point, Andrew, when I started, I just watched a lot of races, and you get to see what runners do. And of course, us as commentators, we try to provide insight as to what's going on and why people make these decisions, and point out little factoids along the way. And we of course love bantering. That's the reason why we do this. But
yeah, it is.
If I was, you know, a runner just starting out, I would watch a lot of races before playing even one seed. That's just what I did and how I approached it. Meanwhile, 58-20 is stepping on the statues, or stepping on the switches for final KT. So that was a total of a little bit under 12 minutes in the tower for Hashmalum. So even having only 4 characters doing the skip, he still did it relatively fast.
All right, everybody, we're gonna fight Kefka. I want everybody in chat, toss out some go-go-goes. Toss out some go-go's. If you got any emotes, let's cheer Hash on. Let's see what happens, because right now, Nobody War is very close to just about getting there with all those enemies defeated. Jex ain't far behind. Zelfer is gonna get the stunner from Albrook there. Actually, I like the stunner. Unfortunately, no spicy chicken to use it on. Anyway, I digress. Let's cheer him on. We got first tier, the head, the hand, and the other hand. The hand all the way on the left is insta-killable. The head is weak to fire. The other hand is ordering dominoes. So, you know, if you guys want a buffalo chicken pizza, don't talk to the other hand or the head.
Don't talk to the hand? What is this, the 90s? Come on, man.
Raising the roof on that.
Yeah, as a New Yorker, I despise Domino's, but, you know, if you don't have New York pizza, I can understand.
Look, I'm in Los Angeles. There ain't nothing wrong with Domino's.
If it's 2 a.m., then Domino's is acceptable.
Yeah, if you're East Coast, you're calling Ray's, famous Ray's, original Ray's, but like the thought of going to a chain is like, it's almost blasphemy in a way. It's like, why would I do that? Like, there's so much better pizza. All the East Coasters know that, but anywhere else in the world, you're just like, hey, you know, I can go for some Domino's, get some $5.99 pizzas, you know, hang out with my friends late night, and but New York and the East Coast is a different world for the Italian food.
Yeah, so Jaxie is taking some grind fights here in the tower right after. Is he trying to learn a spell, maybe? I think he's trying to learn some spells. He's got the economizer on. Achnalum still on tier 1. He thankfully took down the head and the long arm first so that he doesn't get any nasty death counters. So that should be pretty straightforward onto tier number 2 here. Zelfer, I think, is he finally in the tower? Yes. So 101 on the dot for Zelfer at the statues. And like I said, it's still anybody's race.
Yeah, I think it's very close to going to be very close between Hash and Nobody. Just depending on, well, Nobody right now is about a tier behind.
Boss.
And yeah.
The hardest boss in the game, the menu boss.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hash really does have a huge lead right now, but having enough, a large amount of attack can be a huge difference. I think I clocked my fastest Kefka tower climb when I had everybody with Apple weapons and doing full 999s. I think I clocked it at 356, but usually the Kefka fight can take like 10, 15 minutes, somewhere in between based on how leveled you are and just how difficult the fight can get. Because sometimes you lose a couple characters and you spend the whole time just trying to recover a little bit, or you get ahead of it. You get stuck on tier 3 when you get medioed and all you're doing is trying to revive people. Like anything really can happen. Even depending if you're high level, low leveled. So it really is a let's see what happens.
Yep. Unfortunately, Zelfer has a berserker in the whelk fight, which is never fun because you only want to hit the snail when it's not in the Gru hole. Goddess going down on Dex for Rox's screen. Nobody War starting the fight at 101.45 or so. He stepped on the switches, so he is about a tier behind. But with unscaled Kefka, anything can happen, right? Pulling out the Doom strats on the long arm right away, so that's good. We do have Ultima in this seed, so it might make some of these a little bit easier, but it is by no means trivial here.
Yeah, tier 2's tough. Tier 3 is the scariest, and then Kefka can every once in a while surprise you. Tier 2 here, we got 4 characters. We've got dude in the back who's flexing, dude in the front who's flexing, somebody lumped in the middle who's hidden under a pile of clothes and other muscles, and then we got the tiger head who is it looks like the thing on the chest of Lion-O and the Thundercats there.
I never noticed that before. Yeah.
Every time you cast out Ramu, now you're just gonna be thinking thunder, yeah. Thundercats, ho!
Yeah. Yep, there it is. You've now ruined it.
I think anytime you play this game, you kind of ruin stuff for yourselves. Because generally, like, we tend to shorthand or find little funny quips or descriptions for the characters that we love. And it's just a different way of enjoying it unintentionally from the thing that the artist originally set out to create. Obviously, as kids, this was, like, scary and epic and had this heavy religious overtone, and it was like, this was the epic fight for all time. But, as we've played this so much as adults, and especially through this randomizer, we have spicy chicken and arm wrestler. So
here we go. Hash is done with tier number 3. Wow, no, he's skipping ahead. He's done with tier 2. On to tier 3. Tier 3 is 2 parts. The lady in the back, quad 9's health, but will absorb all elements and can heal both parts as well as revive the bottom part. So that's what you want to go first. And then the other part is rest, 40,000 HP. And when he gets underneath 10,000, we'll cast things like Meteo, which is a high-powered all-hitting spell, and Train, which will both mute and blind your entire party. And unlike in the vanilla game, blind actually works in Worlds Collide, so it's not fun, ever. We do have some calmness protection here in the form of Fender, though, so that's good. Nobody War on to tier number 2. Dex for Ox stepping on the switches at 105 and basically and change, so write that down. As far as timing goes, usually, and this is what I find, I try to get a 10-minute Kefka's Tower and a 10-minute Kefka fight. That is, like, doing okay if you get 10 minutes on both of those. Obviously faster is better, but those are like that's the normal time.
All right, look, there's some chat going on, and I think you guys should lock us out of all the commentator puns, because I think right now you guys aren't selling, or you can't sell us on all the puns that we shouldn't be doing. So I think we should go make more puns.
I wish I was clever enough to make a pun on the fly, but I can't.
I've been thinking about them for a minute. I had the Celis pun, like, it worked in my brain and it didn't come out great in execution. I'll admit to that. I need a better Strago. Gee, that one wasn't even good. That was reprehensible.
Yeah, I would make a Celis pun, but I wouldn't want to runic your time. Anyway. I'm reaching for that one.
You know, my last pun was a shadow of that. You really came in there and were a real interceptor.
Oh my god. 0 out of 10. Turn off the stream again. Meanwhile, Hashmalam on to the final Kefka fight. It is a push and pull fight, 60,000 HP. And he starts, is that a Grand Train from Daddy Luma? What is going on here?
Those levels might be pretty high. So we got the Kefka fight. It's glorious, it's yellow. It looks beautiful. The only problem is, Kefka comes down and, he's looking nice, but he also did destroy the entire world. But I think these guys have him, I think Hash has got this fight at this point. Seems pretty much Hash's thing to lose. The only way that Hash could really sort of get into too much trouble is if Kefka casts Ultima. That seems to be the real challenge, or not recovering fast enough from Fallen One. Those could be the two things, but it looks like Hash is really going to be with doing 9999s on those Ultimas. Very much a good chance that this is going to be wreck out in a couple seconds.
And with Gogo mimicking X Magic, that's four Ultimas before Kefka does anything. So he's already past the Fallen One stage, so he's under 30,000 HP. So he'll counter with things like Hyperdrive and fun stuff. When he gets under 10,000 HP, however, is when Kefka will counter with Ultima. As Javinator mentioned in the chat, he's got enough HP on his characters to eat one Ultima, but what you don't want to have is have him do an X Magic and have him counter with 2 Ultimas right in a row, and there's nothing you can do about it. So we'll see how this goes. Meanwhile, Jax, Rocks, and Nobody War both on tier 2 at the same time. Zelfer is camping over on his screen. He's getting out the s'mores and cracking the beers. Hopefully he puts away the acoustic guitar. We don't need a jerk with an acoustic guitar on a camping trip.
All right, guys, I got this question for you guys in chat. Okay, when your friends go to take you camping, or you're like, hey, let's go camping, how much do you can you stand the person who brings out the also GG, all the music, the digital music, the speakers, really sets it up to be a large soundscape when you're all trying to get into nature. GG to Hash. GG to Hash.
Yeah, he is our first place winner, finishing 109.56. So that is a GG. Get them out in the chat for Hash, and we'll see if he wants to come in on an interview and talk about his least favorite camping tunes.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's like when your friend is just like, hey, make this camping trip great if I busted out a Bluetooth speaker and we played some
hey guys.
Tunes. Hey, what's going on, Hash? How you doing?
Hello.
Good.
Welcome in.
Hey guys, turn this down for a second. Sorry.
Congratulations on your first place finish, 101.56. Any initial thoughts about the seed? What was your strategy when you saw low requirements? The scaling was time based, and yeah, you started with Terra and Celeste.
Yeah, so my initial strategy was let's get some dragons for those quick levels, and then I was gonna do, the whole time I fully intended on doing Lead River. I've got to turn this off. That sounds too loud. Lead River and Magitech Factory to get the skip, because I'm like, oh, that'll give me a ton of levels. Then I can go do the skip, and it'll be great. It'll be fast. And then Doom Dragons in Lead River. Completely changed my strategy, because I was like, I can probably beat these things. And then they gave me a ton of experience in level 40. I'm like, buy a Magicite and go.
Yeah, so you also, as Karaxor points out in the chat, you had a tough go in the seed with only one thing, and that was the Katana Soul fight.
That Katana Soul fight. I was getting,
So
I'm like,
you were looking
I was
for
about ready to
the
rage
offering for the fixed dice, right? That's what I'm guessing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wanted the offering for the fixed dice. And just have the offering. I mean, I had rage, so I thought maybe I could get some good rages with it. But I knew I had the fixed dice, so I knew that would go well together.
Well, it was whatever you pulled off, it was a good strategy. I popped in about halfway to help Schmitz commentate, but
Oh, cool. Good job, Andrew.
yeah. Oh, thanks. And GG's to you. What do you think? Oh man. Okay. Do you think that the head in tier 2 looks like the Thundercats head or not? This was one of our larger parts of discussion today.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely, it does.
Yeah, forget strategy. We want to know about Thundercats.
Yeah.
So
I thought too when Terra learned Ultima, I was like, did I see that correctly? And I checked everybody's spells and I didn't see it. And I was like, okay, maybe I was just seeing things. Oh,
Oof.
Jack's losing 2 characters.
yeah, -2 is never good, and he only has 4, so he's got a 2v1 with Kefka. So speaking of 4 characters, speaking of 4 characters, were you worried going through Kefka's tower because you did not get the skip on it, right? You only did Leap River. You did not do Magitech 3. So were you worried only having 4 characters going through Kefka's tower?
Absolutely, I was terrified. When I sent Celeste down her
Wait, were you terrified? Sorry, I had to get that in. On for the chat. I had to get that one.
Throwing Terra and Go-Go together to cast 4 Ultimas on anything, they were okay. But Celeste had Ice 3, and that's pretty much it. I mean, she had the backup of equipping the Atma weapon, and if she had to, she was going to steal the offering from Locke. I'm pretty sure she equipped Atma weapon. I didn't even try. But
yeah, it was original.
I think she could also do the fixed dice, so I could have done fixed dice offering with her as like a backup too. But I was really afraid about how long that would take, and I was not comfortable at all. But then when the boss for Celeste was Ifrit, I was like, oh, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
1 quick Ice 3, GG.
Yeah, luckily you didn't have to employ the running away strats like we almost saw on Nobody War's screen, who is on tier 3 with Umaro with 6 HP in a dream. Go, Yeety, go.
Using Umaro? Alright, sure.
Hey, sometimes you gotta bring the Yeety in.
I gotta say, every once in a while. Oh, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if he's got good stats, yeah, I guess it'd be worth it, so... looking at the characters, it looks like everybody went vastly different routes.
Yeah, everybody got something kind of different. Jax ended up getting Realm. Everybody else kind of went the same route. Zelfra ended up getting Cyan. So that kind of created a lot of different strategies, but overall, everybody got kind of the main 5 or main 4 of Terra, Locke, Celis, and it seems like everybody else got Go-Go as well, but actually no.
Yeah.
Nobody didn't get Go-Go.
Oh yeah, he did it.
And neither did Jax. Oh, sorry. The crack pal from Jax. 115.05. So Jax gets through that final Kefka with just 2 players. So GG, Merton Strats for the win there.
Merton Strats.
Yeah, she also learned Merton, but when you have Ultima, I was like, I'm not even gonna bother. We'll just keep casting Ultima. That does enough damage for sure.
Yeah.
Ultima,
well, I think for him, he needed to heal his party after fallen one. So we did find flame shields in the pool. I know.
Yeah, my whole healing was like 5 elixirs. So luckily it was enough, but that's all I had. So.
So any last
life 2, I guess.
Any last thoughts before we let you go and bring Jexy in here, as Nobody War also loses 2 characters on Tier 3, going up to Final Kefka. So Tier 3 giving our runners the business tonight.
All I want to say is thanks again for making it happen. Schwantz jumping in last minute to do comms, and Andrew even more last minute jumping in to do comms. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it was.
It's always fun being premiered on a restream. Participating. Thanks also, of course, to the Franklin for doing the restreaming itself, and to the other racers, of course.
Yep, no problem. I should be your personal commentator from now on. I think the last 2 times I've commentated your races, you've come in first place. So just
that's true.
Remember,
yeah, well, it's just the
remember
last 2
that.
races. This is just a trend you're gonna see. So.
Okay, fair enough. So,
nice. Hash, before you go, I want to ask one. I was kind of more the comedy relief this one, and then Schwantz was more the commentator in this one. So one of the comedy relief questions I had was, who's your character and what's your skill?
Oh, if I was to pick, I'd pick. Let's see here. I mean, I want to pick Realm with Shock. That's the first that comes to mind, obviously.
Nice.
I do love a character with the natural jump. Get those fixed dice dragon horn going. But I mean, if I was picking one character, I know Magitech looks like it's pretty darn powerful too. But if I was just to pick one character, one stat, I think I'd go Realm with Shock.
Nice. This is gonna be rough.
Nobody worries.
Fortunately, he's got 1 HP and 1 HP and a dream, and that was not fun.
Takes a forfeit.
You 2 were.
Still gets a GG, right? Or is that getting F?
That's a GG.
Okay, good.
we give them the GG. So you listen. You have to show up on stream, and it's tough being restreamed. There's a lot of pressure on everybody, even for the casual Saturday raids.
I was pretty nervous. I'll tell you, my heart was pounding. I mean, Zelfer here is still in shooting for 3rd, but I was like, oh man, with that guy in the race, I have got to go faster. I don't stand a chance. So as I go into Tier 4, I'm like an hour 7, an hour 8, and I'm like, oh my gosh, super nervous.
Yeah,
way more than I should have been.
I can imagine too. Like I get caught up every once in a while on like a fight, like you did with Katana Soul, and that's got to make you think like, yep, I'm already done.
Desperation attack.
I almost raged quit with that Katana Soul. That was just not going my way. I wasted so much time there. So
yeah.
The rest of the seed went pretty smooth, and then that was the Leet River of Dreams. Anyone that's pro Leet River, watch this stream because it was pretty fantastic. It gave me so much experience and made me ready for Kefka. So
all the people who are pro Leet River, all 5 of them,
all 3 of them, yeah, exactly. all both of them.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Hash. We'll get Jexy in here, and we'll catch you next time.
Talk to Jex. Thanks, guys.
GG's, man.
All right, and that's it. A crack pow as well for Zelfer. He finishes with a time of 1:19:36. So nice. GG's for Zelfer. We'll drag in Jex Verox. There we go. Try and drag him in. There it is. We finally dragged him. Jexy, GG's on your 1:15:05. Awesome job. And if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Jax, I think you did an amazing job. I think you did sell us that you're a good player. Oh, I got another pun in there. Oh, so good. Jax, appreciate you running today. GG's and good race. It was a real close one. Well, we can't hear you right now, but I just want to sing your praises and thank you for doing it.
GG's. Oh, there he is. Hello, there he is. Hello. Awesome job, Jexy.
Thank you.
So talk to us about your strategy with this seed, with the progression at time times 1.5, starting off with Terra and Celeste, and the skip with Leet River and Magitech.
So my initial strat with the EXP and levels and the time and all that fun stuff, it dawned on me that it didn't really matter whether I wasted time or not to because enemy levels does not increase the experience points gains, if I remember correctly, or does it?
This is
'Cause I-
stuff I should know, but I don't.
Because I know the enemy levels increased with time. So my initial strat was to go around, grab every single check possible that was free, that that I could
Yeah,
pretty much
so
do.
the XP and GP scaling was based on characters plus espers plus dragons, so it was not based on time. So even though the enemy scaling was based on time, the amount of XP and GP you got was based on your progression. So it's sort of like a combination of the two things, right? Obviously, as enemies get harder, they give you more XP, but the XP is determined by the XP scaling, which was based on progression. I think that's how it works. If anybody else can correct me for sure, definitely do it, because that's how I interpret it. But that makes sense to do free stuff first, because it doesn't count against the level and magics and HP scaling of the enemies. That makes total sense. One thing I wanted to ask was, were you nervous going to check Moblas with just 2 characters? You saw it was Realm, but you had to beat the boss after Fun Baba with just 1 character. It just so happened that Celeste was the one that was left, which was great. But
I would have preferred Terra
all?
was the one. Because Celeste, granted, she had the Minerva on,
Okay.
along as a Dragoon, but Terra had Ultima rolling at that point. So the damage output would have just
from
been...
the Paladin Shield, yeah.
I did not learn... No, I didn't learn it from the Pally Shield.
Oh, was it on an Esper somewhere? I must have just missed it.
Natural Magic.
Oh, wow, that's even worse. So yeah, we did have Terra and Celeste with Natural Magic. It was not at level 99 like it is in the vanilla game, apparently. So, okay, you didn't even need to crack the Curse Shield to learn Ultima. Never mind. I was not paying attention.
Didn't even need it.
Yeah, so that's interesting that you were actually hoping for Terra instead of Celeste to be left over because of Ultima. That makes sense. The only other thing I have written... I'm sorry, I was going to say, the only other thing I have written down here is, right before you stepped on the Kefka switches, you were grinding for a fight. Was that to learn a spell, I guess, or something?
Yeah, Cure 3.
Okay. Yep, the healing is not available in this seed.
Well, thankfully I really didn't need it too much. I mean, like, Realm could heal herself, which was great, because Sword Tech 5. And then we had Locke with a Rage Ring, Terra with a Flame Shield, and Celeste was, just airborne, and I could just emergency heal her with Cure 3 from another character if needed, which is pretty much what I ended up having to do. And then I just went with Merton strats rather than Ultima for the final fight, so everybody had elemental protection.
Yeah, losing 2 out of your 4 characters is never fun.
Thankfully, it was the 2 characters I didn't care too much about, because healing was significantly easier with Realm and Locke. Or, sorry, Terra and Locke, because, Merton.
Yep. Using Merton instead of Ultima to get heals after the Fallen one was definitely a good strategy there. Andrew, you got any other questions, thoughts, puns, maybe for?
Yeah, I was gonna. Oh, we have plenty of puns. We're just having a good time here. We were playing a little game, asking everybody who's your character and what's your skill. If you could pick from the list of characters and skills, who would be your character and what would be the skill that they would have?
Ooh. I would have to say Go-Go.
Go-Go, because you got all the skills.
Mimic. Go-Go and Mimic.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, can't go wrong with that at all.
Were people trying to guess what I would choose?
No, we were all at one point. We were just
it's interesting.
we threw it out. A lot of people were like Realm and Shock. I'm Shadow and M Tech. Everyone's got their kind of thing, so just kind of asking everybody what their thoughts were.
Cool.
Any other final thoughts, Jex, before we get to Zephyr?
Thanks for having me on the restream, and thanks for the commentary. Viewers, if you're curious about Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide and you are fairly fresh to it, or first time watching, come check out the Discord. Come go give the restream team and the runners a follow, and yeah, come join the community.
Don't thank us for commentary until you hear the race back. No, I'm just kidding. Good job, and we'll
Yes,
catch
I
you
will
next
reserve
time.
that judgment for later.
See you later. Bye bye.
Have a good one.
All right,
man.
GG's.
All right, and we've just dragged in our third place finisher, Zelfer. Welcome, Zelfer. How's it going? All right, and we've just dragged in
well.
our
Thank you
third
very
place
much. How are
finisher,
you guys
Zelfer. Welcome, Zelfer. All right,
How's
it going? Good,
I'm doing
good.
great hearing that music in the background, man. Doesn't it tug at your heartstrings after you beat this game every
Good.
single
I'm
time?
doing
great hearing that music
Oh,
in the
man.
background.
The ending
man.
music
tug at your
theme is
heartstrings
something that
after you beat
never
this
ever
game
gets
every
old.
single
I can listen
time.
to it every single day.
That perfect medley of all the songs and everything. Oh, so good. So good.
So, other than the 18.5-minute credits, to give us your strategy in this seed, scaling is based on time. You started with Terra and Celeste, and the skip was two of the lesser favorite checks with Leaf River and Magitech 3. The skip was two of the lesser favorite checks with Leaf River.
All right. The only reason I did Leap River was because it did it helped to unlock the KT skip. That definitely was not something I usually do if I have other options. MTech 3, I'm starting to warm up a bit to it. If you do the first two and you're kind of there already, it's kind of okay. Really, the strategy was do the free checks first, hope I get characters and espers, raise the experience progression as far as I can, and let that carry me. And dead checks in the beginning did not help that plan at all.
Yeah, the two Magitech dead checks are never fun.
No, they were dead.
Yeah, the two
I'm pretty sure
Magitech dead
Asos'
checks are never
jail
fun.
in South Figaro was dead also.
Yep.
Yeah. So it quickly turned into let me just kill something and see if I can get some experience, and hopefully I don't die.
Yeah, there was a lot of dead checks. I'm just looking at it now based on the tracking sheet, and we obviously didn't even go that far, right, into the seed. There was the Genji helmet at the Doma spot. We obviously didn't even go that far, which I don't. Did you get Cyan? You did get Cyan. I don't know if you did. Did you do Doma or not?
I did not do Doma. I went straight to Mount Zozo for the dragon and some treasure.
Yeah, so I also wanted to ask you about the auction house. Were you just showing off your luck at that point, to grab an Esper out of the auction house, or were you looking for something in particular?
All right, so the actual plan was the RNG was turned off of the auction house, so I know the most likely item was a hero ring, and I really wanted a hero ring. That's why I went there. And of course I got the Esper, and I'm like, no, this is not the time to get Espers. I don't care. And I went to the relic shop to sell stuff so I could keep on buying stuff to get the hero ring. But the relic shop had Atlas armlets, and that's the part that I wanted. So I said, never mind, I'll buy Atlas armlets. I'm good now. I'm good. And that's what happened.
That is amazing. So the Zelfer luck actually hurt you this seed instead of helped you.
It did. I had no need for the Espers. I don't even think I used the Ragnarok Esper for spells or anything. I mean, I like that Esper. It's my favorite, but it was useless. Nope, didn't want it. Not at all.
That's incredible. Andrew, you got any other questions for Zelfer?
I gotta ask the one question I've been asking every runner: who's your character and what's your skill? If you could have any character with any skill, who would it be?
Ooh, any character and any skill?
Yeah.
I think for skill, Throw is my favorite skill.
I'm up. That's up there with one of my favorites. Those fire skeins when you get enough power. Ooh.
Yeah. You throw schemes in the beginning of the seed, and then at the end of the seed, you throw all those weapons that are sitting in the inventory for no reason.
Oh, when you throw
Absolutely
Illuminas
perfect.
at Kefka? That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. that's definitely it. And then who can have that? I don't know. I guess Shadow would be nice just to have it because he could throw the schemes and do good damage, or he could throw the weapons and do good damage. He's good either way.
Nice. Shadow is my favorite character, so you win.
I might be biased because I just saw Shadow's ending theme on my screen, but you know.
Number 3 in the race, but number 1 in our hearts. So, any other final thoughts, Zelfer, before we let you go?
No, I think I'm all good. Thank you guys for setting up everything and having this happen. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for racing.
All right. Catch you later, dude. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much for racing. We got nobody here. Nobody war here. GG's, it was a tough one. Appreciate you going through this one. You want to tell us your thoughts kind of about this seed and your experience with it?
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Terra Celeste with the starting commands. Only having 3 characters required and 6 espers, 3 dragons. My mindset was basically get the third character wasn't going to be an issue. Just hunt for espers as soon as possible, and then straight to World of Ruin, 3 dragons, and I'm in the tower. The skip was great. Like, it's just it rolled into that fact. Like, I just wanted to do as many checks as possible as early as I could. Did some early, 5-10 minute look around, grabbed items, grinded a little bit, hit the river, hit the factory, had the skip all set up, head to World of Ruin, start tackling dragons, and I ran into a little bit of a situation where I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go next, like to look for espers, because I wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah,
the analysis paralysis. Never a fun thing.
Yeah, I did end up finding everything, and this is what confused me, like, real close to the end. Like, I probably should have not used the skip. Just gone in, fought that third dragon, and then just fought the statues. And I kind of, like, in my head beforehand, I'm like, I was going to kill the 2 and go in and kill that third one. And I lost track of what I was doing when it was time to go in there. Didn't shop beforehand. I had, like, no elixirs, no, like, way to replenish MP during that final fight. I mean, I knew I was good. I had Siren, Fenrir, Celeste, everybody with level 3 magic, but yeah, just a little hindsight on my part caused that not so good.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to that Kefka skip, and then you're just like, "Oh, I forgot an objective. No."
Right.
Yeah, or like, yeah, you just make that miscalculation. But we thought you were, we were speculating out here whether you were strategizing to try and stack the deck early, doing the Kefka skip, and then just go in regular, just to make sure that you didn't. In case you needed to restack your party, in case you were worried, like,
that was
leveled enough.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of my thought process when I saw the flags earlier, and that what the skip was and the requirements were so low. It's just like I only needed to do 2 dragons, maybe even 1. I was honestly thinking about going in there and killing both dragons in the tower, but I had quick. I did get Cyan, went to Zozo, killed that one, and went to the Opera. So I was, yeah. I had debates about going to Fnatic's tower and killing that dragon and not even worrying about doing anything in the tower. This is because I had so many characters with high-level magic on it, but I didn't do that either.
No worries. I mean, Fnatic's tower.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not a problem. We had, the tier 3 was not fun to any of our runners. I think somebody else also lost 2 of their 4 party members before going up to the final battle, so it was not fun at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really close between you and Hash towards the end. You guys, you were the first one doing Kefka's tower, and you guys were roughly on the same tiers at the same time. Hash ended up sprinting ahead, and I think you just got caught up towards the end of it with everything. But it was a pretty close race overall.
Nice.
So yeah, we were all kind of figuring out who was gonna, take it on first. So GG's for everything that you were able to do in this race. We had one question that we were talking about in chat, and we brought it up to the other racers. Who's your character and what's your skill?
Okay, I kind of overheard some of this, and I'm gonna have to probably follow everybody, but Shadow's my favorite, and
Yes!
of course Throw. So yeah,
Yes.
we win.
Yep. Shadow,
Nobody likes the
doggo
double
defense.
Nobody likes the double slot scout.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I think it's going M-Tech for me.
Yeah.
Then shock or throw is somewhere between number two.
That's more of like my classic. That's like my vanilla pick. I guess my like Worlds Collide pick might be like Realm with shock or something like that.
Yeah. Nice. It's a
Yeah.
solid choice. It seems to be a
Oh yeah.
crowd favorite too. Double sketch gal we have being suggested.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. I've got no other.
Thank you guys for commentating, and thank everybody that ran the race today. And excited for the Battle Royal coming up soon. I know that just dropped today, and everybody was on that, so it's gonna be good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
if you guys are interested in watching more Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, feel free to follow this. Follow the runners. Follow Nobody. Follow Zelfer, Jexy, Hash. Everybody ran such a good race, and these guys are so great. If you guys are interested in doing these tournaments and stuff, hit up the Discord and see what's up. Say hi. Everybody's super nice here and always happy to walk you through. If you have any questions, just hit the people up in the chat, and they'll talk you through. GG's and good job, Nobody. That was
Thank you.
a fun race, man. You kept it interesting.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
All right, you too. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
All right. So yeah, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you, Andrew, for jumping in and helping out commentary along the way. Thank you, Franklin, as well, for doing both the streaming and the tracking at the same time, making our jobs easy.
Yeah, Franklin, dude, you're the rock star of this. You are the one making it happen. So I appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much, and shouts to you too for the awesome commentary, keeping the thing alive all the way through, taking all the notes, talking through all the tech. You keep this thing alive too, and praise goes to you as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's always fun to have, to bounce around with somebody else in the booth, as well. Normally what we do is we will raid another person that's playing Worlds Collide. However, since we are doing the Battle Royale, it's a tournament that's currently going on, and round 1 is currently happening. We are going to raid our runner Edgeworth. He is doing round 1 of the Battle Royale. So if you are in the tournament and you have not done your seed yet, just click off the stream now. This is the only time I will ever tell people to go away from the stream. Click off the stream because we're going to raid Edgeworth. We will be back here on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another version of round 1 of our Battle Royale race. So if you're around on Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Twitch, if you're watching this on YouTube, hi from the past. And and we will see everybody next time. I've been Doshwants27 along with Andrew and Franklin, and we'll see everybody next time. Thank you.
GG's, everyone.
Again, if you have not done your first round of Battle Royale yet, and you're in the tournament, click off the stream now. Click it off, because otherwise you're going to see things you don't want to see. Until next time, everybody, thank you.